Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. We're back again. We're live. Want to bring in Elena Jakese. Being that we want to have conversation and dialogue. I'm Judah Bernard with the Rise Creative Voice, and we want to have dialogue and actually just give you a synopsis of what is love. What is love? 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 Hello, Alice. Been through it all. Classmate, how are you? We're talking about love. And we want you to stay on. Don't leave us, Alice, okay? We're waiting for our co-host to come on, which is Elena Jakese. And we want to be able to actually, because our season 4 is about what is love. We breaking it down into categories. We talked about what is love meant for each individual. Our other season was about behavioral love. Then our other season was about, this season right here is about situational love. So we're looking at it from a perspective of what is love? What is love? What is love? What is love? What is important? What's the importance of love? There she is. Yeah, approved. Maybe she'll come in now. It's sad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. No, it's connecting. Yay!
How you doing?
I am doing well. Yourself?
Good, good. I'm so sorry. We're having bad connection in our area for some reason.
Oh, shame on you. You must be in Texas.
Yeah. Right? Everything fails in Texas.
Everything fails. All my exes are in Texas.
All mine are in Texas too.
So we want to definitely welcome you here today. What we're talking about is situational love. And we're hoping that people have done their homework, as we have forestated on many of the other avenues that we've been on. We first opened up about things of what we thought love was, our opinions on our behalf, our things of what we thought that we'll be talking about. So far, we're on a third topic, because we talked about what is love. Then we talked about individual love. Now we're talking about behavioral love. And now we're talking about situational love.
Situational love, yes. And I am tagging a few people here, Judah, that
I'm
I
going to go
definitely want to be in attendance.
Look, let me get my other pad.
Yes. We need some people to be in attendance on this because this is a big deal tonight.
A love type of thing that y'all need to know about. Let's talk about what that is. What is situational love? Can I tag these people? I need to tag them on there. Okay. We're going to go and tag a couple of people in.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I'm used to this tapping. Know that we're in here. Make sure those who are in here that you tap somebody else too. Hi, hey, Maya. What's going on? We're talking about love. Yes. So we're gonna get this party kicked off a little bit, so we make sure that we understand the couple of things that we talked about. Because first and foremost, we talked about God is love. So in understanding to have love, you have to have God in your life.
Yes.
That's the
Yes,
first important thing. And we do understand in reality, some people don't have faith or believe. So whatever.
Dallas.
Yeah, I see. Cheers from Dallas. Go.
Yes. They have all the good stuff in Dallas. They get all the good concerts and everything in Dallas.
Yes. Situational love. Because we talked about behavior love, and one thing is, for homework, we talked about doing an assessment of our behaviors in love, and also changing those behaviors. And you're supposed to have did that homework, and that being that you should already know what your behaviors were. So now we're talking about situational love, and I'm gonna open up with situational love with a story.
Okay.
So a situation which I saw that it was situational love was I was in love with the situation of
Mm-hmm.
being loving to a person. That situation inflicted me to have companionship.
Okay.
That situation inflicted me to be aware of I needed or I wanted companionship. I wouldn't say I needed. I said I wanted it. But then again, the balance of it all is was I really in love or was I in love with the situation? And
Yeah.
that's my idea of what situational love is right now for me. But that's not what I give now because I've learned that situational love is just exactly what it is. It's for that situation. So the biggest key part of it is when that situation turns into another situation that you don't love, you're easy to fall out of love because that situation has changed. Bam! I'm good.
Yes. I like that. So with that, Judah, do you feel that in that situation, were you identifying it then when you were currently in it, that this was kind of just situational love, or it was when you got out of it and evaluated it?
I think when I got out of it and evaluated it and found out exactly that that was just situational love and I was there for that situation.
Yeah.
Not the person, but the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and oftentimes that can happen. Sometimes you're in that situation and you're there for what you're getting out of it and what you need from it. And I think for me, I absolutely agree with you. That's where I think the term situationship was crowned from, is because you're not in a relationship. A situationship is a lot less than a relationship, but more than friends with benefits, right? But there's no commitment, there's no end goal, and there's no terms. Everybody wants to be, no obligations, no expectations. So when you're in a situationship, you're there for whatever you're benefiting from. But I also think that there are times that there could be someone who thinks they're in a relationship and another person who's just in a situationship. And that's where I feel like you're not evenly yoked. You're not on the same page. And that's where I think lines are crossed and someone is going to leave hurt, extremely hurt.
And that's one thing is what in many of the other episodes is that we call blurred lines because nobody's communicating the actual feeling or what this is termed. Only thing is what we're producing is I love you. But in my little bubble, all the bubbles I have up here, I'm saying situation because they were needed me or wanted me at this time because they were hurting or I need to, it's physically hurt, but you're trying to heal some people too as well, and it's like you can't do all that. They're going to have to learn how to do what they need to do for themselves and and post or put forth the effort of learning what love is because basically they probably love in that moment, but then again, they could have very well been in a situationship because of the situation that you brought to them too as well.
That's why I think it's very important before you even get romantically involved with someone, you need to ask each other, what is love to you? What does love look like? How do you receive love? And you got to almost break it down in almost like kindergarten terms. When I do this, do you feel love? Or when you do this, do I feel love? You got to break it all the way down because if not, then that person is not going to see it as love, or you two are not going to see love the same way. So therefore, it is just a situation. You are not in a relationship by any means necessary.
And I know we got a couple of comments coming through, and I have been so mind-doing to not looking at them right now, but I see they keep coming through. I guess they haven't caught up right here.
The first one I saw was it said communication is key. And yeah, that goes along with exactly what I'm saying. Communication is very much key. You need to be talking about these things before you even consider this. Before I even consider you and I an item, a pair, or anything, I need to know how you see things, because only then can I meet your needs. Can you meet my needs? Can we meet each other's needs? And only then can we avoid this being the situation.
But can I say something about communication is key? Some people communicate to lie. Let's be honest.
Some people have communication. I'm going to partially say, or I'm going to say what I need to say, but not say what I'm supposed to. I'm going to say what I want to say, but not what I need to say. Absolutely.
Let's look at what that communication is key, because sometimes people will tell you what you want to believe.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Judah, that's why I've learned, when you're first meeting somebody, stop giving them your story right away. They need to earn your story.
They're already analyzing
it. Here you go. So my exact storyline, I was in a relationship with someone who I was madly in love with. We broke up for whatever reasons, right? So this person meets another woman after me. Guarantee you the story went, my ex and I broke up because of XYZ, and because she didn't do XYZ. So the next woman is going to do what? XYZ. So therefore, you got to stop, listen, you got to earn my story at this point. They will use your story to get you. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. That's why you got to stop telling people, all of your broken-hearted stories, or this person hurt me, this person did that. And also stop giving your insecurities away, your darkness away, because some people who are just looking for situations can easily use that to hurt you and to benefit them in the end. Yes, and some are manipulating you and playing on your weaknesses. Absolutely.
Always. So I think what we definitely need to understand, what are situationships?
Yeah. How do you identify it?
How do you identify it? Number one, it's a situation. It's not love.
Yeah.
And if that pattern is continuous, it's a situation.
Yeah.
Love is action. Situation is a role play.
Love is consistent. Yeah. Situations is I'll see you when I see you. I hit you up when I want to hit you up. I hit you up when I need that fix, right? It's almost like you become a drug for them, because they only come around when they need that fix. They need a hot meal. They need you to encourage them. They need you to uplift them. They need you to tell them that they're beautiful, or whatever they need. That's when it becomes situational. I'm only coming to you when I need to benefit from this situation. Other than that, I don't need you.
Exactly. And they will tell you they don't need you.
Oh, yeah. They will tell you, I don't want any expectations or any obligations.
And anytime you get out of a situationship, some people always begat to say that I brought you out of something. So like they heighten your horizon.
Like you owe me. Yeah.
Like you owe me for my stuff.
If you also don't stop to identify that it was a situation, you'll end up in another situation after that situation too.
So you have to start identifying what that looks like to you. And sometimes we get in situations knowing that we're in a situation.
Yeah.
But then is it just a situation?
Then that's when you have companionship. I think that's when it's companionship. I think it's when I come to you and I say, this is all I can provide. This is all I'm asking. And the other person says, this is all I can provide. This is all I'm asking. Then it's like a companionship. It's an agreement. Problem is, somebody will always catch feelings at that point. And now what was just, us hanging out, us getting to know each other, or whatever, that's when it becomes a situation. I fell for you. You still came around even after I owned these feelings. And now I feel like you used me. So that's why I feel like sometimes someone can end up feeling like they're in a relationship and the other person is in a situation, and that's when you have an issue.
So it's being able to identify, are both you guys in a situation? Because if that person is in a situationship and you're loving them, that's not gonna work. And they say you give the other person option to continue or not. Yes, you have to give the other person the option to continue or not, because basically,
yes.
But I feel most of the time that it's so much involved that we need to stop and take inventory of our lives.
That's what check-ins are for. You need to be having check-ins. Yeah. Check-ins. How are you feeling? Are you still feeling the same? Are you still able to show up in what we're doing? Are you gaining more feelings? Are you losing feelings? That's where you have check-ins, because if I realize that your feelings are decreasing and mine are increasing, we have an issue here. But if we're moving at the same pace, if we're on the same level, I feel like we are moving towards a relationship. But the difference with a situationship is there's no direction and there's no end goal.
Down, roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bipolar.
I really love him, but you know what? It's
terms. There are terms with situations. I don't like him today because he didn't call me back when I felt like he should have called me back. Versus when you're in love, okay, this person didn't call me back. I understand why. Or maybe they didn't call me back because something came up at work. But when it's a situationship, I'm supposed to be more important than your job. It's about me. Me. Yeah.
So we're giving you guys good tips, good pointers, dropping dimes and gems everywhere.
The first thing to avoid a situationship for me, Judah, is you first of all need to make sure you and that person are on the same page, that y'all have the same wants, the same desires, the same end goal. That I can't stress that enough. Yes, sir.
Okay. My page thing. I have to dictate that down just a little bit lower. Make sure you're on the same page, in the same paragraph, on the same sentence.
With the same ink color.
The same wording. Make sure you're in the same language.
Same font.
You got to break it down
yes.
a little bit more detailed nowadays, because when you say, oh, we are on the same page. No, somebody's at the bottom, somebody's at the top, or somebody's in the middle. So
that's why I said you have to almost speak to each other like kindergartners. We need to break this down. I need to make sure you speak my language. Same language. Yeah.
And I think what we don't get enough of is in situationships is that we come in with the motto of helping or assisting because of the situation.
But Judah, my question is for you, because it seems like you and I both have been in situations. Should you have had expectations? Should you have went in expecting anything? Because if it was a situationship, should you have expected anything? I think for me, I expected, I'm going to tell you, this was my problem, and a lot of people do this. And I've learned when you first meet someone and they say, I'm not ready for a relationship right now. All right. So you may think in your mind, which I've been a victim, I've thought that right now was like, okay, maybe it's like, the first month or two, but once you get to know me and see how fabulous I am, you're going to think that, you're going to realize I'm worth being in a relationship with. No. 4 months down the line, that person's still not ready for a relationship right now. 6 months right now. So I've learned I don't even need to hear right now. When you tell me you're not ready for a relationship at all, I'm going to accept that, because what we do is we get in situations and we think we can change that person's mind, or we can make them see that they should be in a relationship rather than just expecting. That is a red flag. Yes, it is. It is. Instead of just hearing what that person is right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Listen more than you speak.
Yeah. Please listen more. We want people to be encouraged to listen more, because basically, and that's when you still have check-ins. Don't even listen more with your ears. Listen with your mouth. Listen with your eyes. Listen with your whole body. Do those check-ins, because sometimes our body just craves that attention.
It's simple things.
We want to have that companionship that turns into situationships. Now we're stuck because now we've given our all to that person.
Judah, if this person calls you and just say, hey, how you doing? And then you tell them, oh, I'm doing great or whatever. And then the rest of the conversation is about them. They don't actually ask you how you doing, how you feeling. They don't ask you if you need anything. That person, that is a situationship. They are there for you to support them. They are there for you to hear them. If every time they come over to your house, they don't even bring anything, they're not a part of, they're not engaging, they're not asking about your family, your friends, they're not trying to be a part of your life, it is a situationship, and it is no relationship ahead.
Trust me, you preach it to the choir. I think people need to really understand what people are out to get. And I think the biggest problem is that we have broken down love to a distinct value and
Yeah.
understanding that love, your individual love that you give is a value and it's
Mm-hmm.
worth.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
again, if you don't see it as that and you keep giving it out,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to turn into situational love. It's going to turn into behavior love. It's going to turn into a lot of the love that we're talking about, which
Mm-hmm.
may not be your individual love. This is love that you turn into a situation.
Yeah. The shame, Judah, is that I think certain people have just almost settled to accept whatever. This person may never be in a relationship with me. This person may never give me what I want. This person may never want to marry me, but it's better than not having this person at all. So then that makes that other person who's there just for the benefits continue to be there just for the benefits.
So that goes back to loving yourself.
Loving yourself.
That goes back to
Yeah.
loving yourself.
Can't get around
Yeah.
it. You can't get
Can't get
around it.
around it.
Because when you love yourself, you will set boundaries. You will identify that, yes, never settle, run. Absolutely. When you start to identify that this is just for them and I'm not getting anything from it, I'm not growing from it, they're not even attempting to meet my needs. It's one thing when someone is attempting and you just, you're working with this person, whatever. But when this person is dead set on not meeting those needs, not giving you anything, not even showing up for you, not being present, not investing, that's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because in the end, you will feel hurt.
You'll feel very hurt. But
Yeah.
and get into situations because so many situations happen. Well, it's I
Yeah.
grow up hearing the word content.
Content is not happy to me. It's not good enough for me. I agree with you, Maya. It's not happiness for me. It's just settling. I'm just sitting in the moment. I'm holding the seat. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you continue
And
this
you have
way, the door swings both ways.
mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think more people have to understand that we're trying to elicit more loving and loving from an individual perspective.
Hi, Mitra.
And understanding that what does that mean for each and every one, each of you individually. As we talked about behavioral love and shedding off the love that you felt that you had that you want to express from either your parental figure, society, whatever that love boat that has. What is your individual love?
Yeah. But Judah, one of the things about situational loves that you will first identify is this person has no future goals for you. But at the same time, these people will speak futuristic things to you. They'll say things like, oh, yeah, when we get married, when we have kids, and they have no goals, no whatsoever to even be here for that. But that's why I said people need to earn your story, because if you are that woman, I'm not gonna lie, Judah, I used to be that woman that I would meet someone and you're feeding them and you're giving them exactly what they need. Yes, and you're giving them a plan of action to how to win you, right? So when that person is sitting there and they know that marriage is important to you, that's something that you want to aim for, they're going to use that. They're going to speak that language. They're going to call you their wife. They're going to come over and treat you like like they're your spouse. They're going to have all the expectations of a spouse, but they are not planning to meet those needs whatsoever. So if that person is not showing up and that person is just, saying that they want these things, but not actually producing anything, that's a situationship ahead, not a relationship.
Right. So if they're not meeting those needs and things like that, we still have to understand what does that mean and how can they address that situationship and when they know that they're in most people don't even know they're in a situationship. Some people are in a situationship and just in a situationship. So I think we need to explain to them what we feel a situationship is a little bit better.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
It's not consistent.
I know you talked about when they have no direction, they have no goals, they have no total desire.
Yeah.
But how can people identify that Because some people, let me show you what they do. They get in the situationship. Now I love you.
Yeah.
But they're not identifying or accepting or acknowledging that they're in a situationship. So now they're blinded by this. Bye, okay.
Have a good class.
Let's say hello. Tell the people how we can start looking at situationship from a blinded love perspective.
I think first, understand that a situationship is not love. That's the first part. It's not love. It's an exchange. That's what it is. I'm giving you this for this. I'm giving you this for this. It's not love. So that's what first of all, it starts off, Judah, by asking this person, do you understand what love is? Right. Do you know God's love? What was love like for you as a child? Because sometimes, going back to last week, if as a child they felt like I had to do this just to get my mom's approval, just to get my mom's love, then that's what they're going to do to you as a lover. I'm just going to do this just to get your attention. I'm going to do this just to get your love. So that's a situation. I'm only here to get what I can get and give what I need to get what I want to get. Right. So first of all, identify that it's not love. Right. It's not. And what about for you? And acknowledge it's a situation. Mm-hmm. And if you're willing to stay in that situation, accept it's a situation. Mm-hmm. And deny that it's love. Because the more you start staying in love or trying to make it love, you're going to become more hurt. Hurt people hurting people. But that's just it, Judah. There are so many people that are trying to turn situations into love, and it is impossible. It is not going to happen. If this person is not ready, this person does not want anything, you cannot make them want it. No matter how fabulous you are, no matter how many meals you cook, according to last week, no matter how much sex we're having, how many intimate moments we're having, it will not make love happen. It will just keep making that person come around for that fix that they need. So first of all, I think the second thing is to realize how you are aiding in that situation instead of preventing it, prohibiting it, right? If I know that this person does not want anything steady with me, then I need to stop showing up as a steady person. Or I need to realize that what I want, what I need is far more important than just having somebody in my life just to fill space. So do not settle for it. And don't be an enabler. Enabling, yeah. Being that, like you said, keep showing up. Mm-hmm. Making yourself available. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I do this for you if you do this for me. That's a situationship. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? There are so many blurred lines in situationships that everyone becomes confused and there's no set defined goals for this relationship because it is a situationship. And I want people to understand this is not a relationship, it's a situationship. We're in it for this situation. And that's it. And stop comparing your situationship to other people's relationships or other people's marriage. Because then it's only making you feel more of a failure or more of a person without. If you know that this is not a consistent situation, yet you are comparing this to your friend who is married, and don't get me wrong, Judah, I've been there. I've been that person. I had somebody that I knew was not going to be here by Christmas. Yet I'm taking this person around my married friends. I'm hoping that my married friends will influence this person to want to settle down. You're putting yourself in a situation and it's only hurting you at the end, and it's only setting you back, and it's only putting more traumatic situations on yourself that you're going to have to break through from this now. Now I'm going to have to work through the fact that I felt used, I felt abused, I felt taken advantage of, but you knew that this was not anything from the beginning. Right. So why did you settle? Has anyone settled before knowingly? So what we have to understand with that situational shift, we have to be alarmed and alert. And situationship comes and it goes.
But then again, what are you putting forth in trying to build that genuine individualistic love, erasing behavior love, and other things too as well. So we definitely
Yeah.
have to keep moving forward with that. Um,
Yeah.
I think we probably can go to a segment of because situationship is just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing else. And that's why we wanted to
Mm-hmm.
give this segment of
Yeah.
situational shift
Definitely.
to make sure that we are putting out the effort of knowing what it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
in ending this, how would you look at situational shift and some ways to end it?
I'm sorry, say that one
How
more
would you
time. I
look
couldn't
at
hear you.
situational shift and looking at ways how to end it? Or you just say just don't be in it?
No, it's not easy. It's not that easy, Judah. And I want to give, I want people to give grace to themselves. It's not easy to walk away from a situationship, especially when you've invested feelings into this person. When you've, and I'm a person, Judah, I sell myself stories. I tell myself that this is going to be something, that this person and I are going to get married. We're going to have, whatever. So it's not as easy to walk away from it. The first thing you need to do is you need to go back to your core. Go back to reading your Bible scriptures, of seeing, reading what love
Right.
is. Put yourself around women who are going to uplift you, who are going to make you feel great, who are going to be a good support system to you. So your support system is very important. Shamitra is actually in the chat today, and Shamitra is actually my older cousin. I can't tell you how many times I've called her crying and she's uplifted me,
Right.
or she's called me and we've talked about
Right.
these things. So go back to the people that love you the most, pick yourself up. That's when we, going back to last week, Judah, what are your rituals? Going back to your self-care rituals, build yourself back up and realize that you are far more important than this situation. You have a lot more to give. And at the end of the day, you deserve exactly what you want. And if this person is not even giving you 20, 30%, that 80-20 rule, no, that 70-30 rule, no. This person, if it is not 50-50, if this person is not showing up like you, do not get involved and find your way out.
Find your way
It is
out.
not going to change.
Find your way out. So, in closing, how do you feel that, number one being that we talked about what is love, number two, individual love, behavioral love, situational love. How do you feel that our listeners, and our people that are listening, what would be another next topic that's good for them?
I think when you're looking at behavioral love and you're looking at situational love, I think that's where we now need to talk about values.
Ooh.
Because when you're realizing those behaviors need to be changed, and when you're coming out of those situations, and when you're going through all that trauma, now you have to let go of values that may have been instilled in you that would not benefit you, and you need to gain better values. So we need to discuss values as a person, values in relationship, how people should respect you, how you should respect yourself, how you need to show up for yourself, personal values next.
So you heard it right here. Personal values from Instagram, lady_Matt Pink. Yes, I got it right. And also,
Yes.
because basically we want to make sure that we're giving you the information, but we do understand that sometimes your people attention span doesn't last longer than 15 minutes. And we do understand this is great conversation. So we definitely didn't want to keep you long on those who may be handling situationships, but just giving you pointers and clues to make sure that you are listening, and also going back and reviewing the podcast, which I haven't dropped. I am sorry, I've been a little tired, but I'm moving. But I'm going to move forward on that and actually start a group too as well, so we can make sure that we get what is love out and where we can post in groups and things like that. So I promise you guys, this Saturday I will be dropping a lot of things. I will be posting a lot of things. That is my day to do that.
Well, Judah, in closing, I want to say one last thing is be careful who you get advice from. Because if you have someone that loves situationships as well, if you have someone that's in a situationship, you cannot go and get advice from them on how to get out of it. So be careful who you confide in and who you get advice from.
And that's the bottom line. Be careful. And sometimes
just be
you
careful.
don't always get advice from your mom. I ain't say that.
I stopped getting advice from my mom.
I ain't say that. But we have to.
It's true.
We have to be respectful. So, and make sure that we'll do what we need to do. So, as we always say, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell your spouse, heck, tell everyone. We didn't want to keep hoping on situationships because sometimes situationships can be, what's the word? A trigger for someone because they might be in, a different area of that situationship. And if you are in that different area, please DM either myself or I'll call you Lady Matt P. Alicia Jakese. So we can at least provide some resources and assistance to move you out of that situation. So
please do.
Thank you guys and have a good night. All right.
Good night.